Hey there everyone, Dr. Beth Westy here, and I am doing part 2 now of the video that I did. This was, I think, a couple of days ago, where I talked about how do you eat for your hormones and your cycle if you've gone through menopause or on birth control or something like that. And there's a lot of great tips that I have, so they're all listed here. In case you're wondering, my kids did some drawings. So I have a really big whiteboard that I use when I do teachings and when I do lectures in other places, in other Facebook groups and stuff. So this is some of their artwork, in case you're wondering. It's so good, right? There's another little guy behind me. I don't know what any of that is, but I was like, well, the space in the middle is still open, so I'm gonna use that for my video. They're so funny. Yay, Sheila! Okay, also I did a video earlier of, I made my husband cut the jackfruit because it was really big and pokey. And I was like, you have a big knife, you just cut it up. So this is part of it. I'm still eating it, kind of nibbling on it. I'm freezing some of it to use in shakes. It's really good. So there's this like seed inside, which I threw some of them out, but then someone was like, you can use them for stuff. So I'm going to figure out what to do with some of these. But otherwise, this is like the meaty pulp part is really good. It's really sweet. It's like the outside of the pulp part is like so sticky, like glue. And he ate it. He like ate it. If you didn't watch that video, go watch that video because it's hilarious. He's like on it on his knife. He's like, oh. And I was like, don't. I don't think that's the edible part, babe. Oh, he's so funny. Anyway, so it's really sweet and just like fruity. I don't know. That's how I can describe it. It's like a cantaloupe kind of, but got a mixed fruit flavor. It like a fruit punch kind of thing. So, right? Yeah, you don't eat the glue. He ate the glue. He ate the glue, and I almost died laughing. He's hilarious. Of course, he's like, well, I'll try it. I was like, don't, babe. Don't. But then his favorite words are some things like, well, what's the worst that could happen? I don't know. It could be awful. Also, side note, if you're trying to get it off of your knife or your hands, he said that WD-40 does the trick because the regular soap wasn't getting it off of his knife. So, all right, I'm going to talk about what to do. So in the other video I talked about, I'm going to go over here for a minute. Normally women's hormones are throughout the month, right? This is day 14. This is just a quick version. You've got your progesterone, lower. This is a lower one. Normally, if you've got higher hormones, right? Like that. But if you're on a pill or something, or, something else is going on, they play with my markers and they squish them down. I tell you, school starts soon. I'm not counting. Yes, I am. Yes, I'm counting. So the hormones are lower. You still have hormones in your body, right? It's not like you don't have any hormone. It's just on a different level. And I talked a lot about that in that other video. So here's some tips that you can go through and apply right away to say, oh my gosh, how do I eat for this? What do I do? I also released a podcast that came out today with a guy who wrote a book. He's written like 15 nutrition books. It's amazing, but it's one of those things that he talked about, and there's a lot of good nuggets in that podcast. A ton of content, like really high level content. And I think it's really important. And I love that there's more people now, more experts, more people in the industry that are becoming aware of the fact that, yeah, women's bodies are different. You have to train them differently. You have to fuel them differently. They don't respond the same to all the same old stuff that's been out there because we're different, right? This is why. So he talks about a lot of different things in there about, and one of the things that he said, because I asked him, I said, what's the number one mistake women make across the board? And he said, protein. Protein is the biggest nutrient women are missing out on. And I was like, yes! It's a podcast, so you can't see my reaction on it. But I was like, hell yeah! But the biggest thing for women, especially when you've gone through, a hormone change, you're on a pill, you're on something like that, you really still need to get more protein. It takes more protein to do the same job that it used to do in your body. These are really important things. So if you're counting macros, if you're doing paleo, if you're doing whatever it is that you're doing, but you're not accounting for the fact that your body needs more protein to even just do the same thing that it was doing before, you're missing the boat completely. completely by no fault of your own, right? You can be eating clean, healthy, all this stuff, great. But if you're not getting enough protein, it's not going to be enough to fuel your body and get you to the right results. So now think about this too. Think about, oh, I haven't been getting enough protein, but I've been gaining weight slowly. What do I do from there? Again, you still need even more protein. And I know that I've heard people say, oh my gosh, well, I heard protein's bad and it throws off your insulin levels. And I was like, no, it doesn't. It literally regulates them. It literally regulates them. That's a bunch of crap. But what you're looking at really, this is not eating like half of a cow a day. It's taking the appropriate protein amount for you and your body and what you need. That's what's really important. I am 6'2". I'm huge. I know I look tiny on a screen, but I'm 6'2". So the amount of protein that I strive to get every day is very different from somebody who's 5'2". But it's still important that you're hitting the right mark for where you're at and where you're trying to go and the phase of life that you're in and where your hormones are at. Because again, so easy to miss that mark there. So easy. So how you get it in is through protein pacing. Sifting that protein throughout the day so your body incrementally can get that protein uploaded, can have that available, and can use it. Otherwise, you're left kind of, trying to eat literally half of a cow at the end of the day, and your body's not going to break down, digest, or absorb that very well. Not going to sit well. Not going to do well in your belly. No, it's not. So this is one of those things, in my book, The Female Fat Solution, I'm still working on my other book, The Female Nutrition for Female Athletes. That's still coming. But for this one that's on Amazon, I talk a lot about nutrition and protein pacing and getting enough nutrition for your hormones and cycle. So if you don't have that on Amazon, pick it up. And then my podcast, The Female Health Solution, subscribe to that because that episode that came out today is gold. It is gold. And I've got so many more episodes that are coming that are amazing. So please, please, please subscribe to that and share that with people because this is what changes lives. I love sharing this information with women because it provides you with this different mindset, this different scope, this different avenue to go down versus just being stuck and frustrated. So this is also one of the things too when you talk about protein and protein pacing. The first thing, again, because women miss out on it, it's the first thing that I work on in my 12-week program with women. It's working closely with women, more one-on-one, with meal guide, grocery list, all these things that provide you with the tools to really shift your nutrition to move you in a better direction. But protein and protein pacing is so key and pivotal to getting that start. Without that, you're not going to get, you can focus on stress or you can focus on some of these other things, but this is really the key foundation. That's why I talk about protein a lot. That's why I love it. All right, but specifically for this menopause or, having a shift in hormone, that's why it's so important. Exercise and nutrient timing for your exercise. This changes as well. Your hormones change. It's really important for women to do weight-bearing exercise to maintain bone density, all these other things. But the type of training that you do, how much you train, also very important to recognize and realize that you're not overtraining. It's really easy to overtrain. That will lead into stress here, but it's also going to react negatively on your system really, really quickly, and you're not going to be able to come around from that very easily. But your nutrient timing is going to have to be even more on point. It's not as simple as, I'm going to go do fasted cardio. That's so great for me. No, not anymore. Nope. No, it's going to stress your body out more. If you're not having nutrient in, if you are not fueling your system, if you don't have the right tools before, during, and after your workouts, you're really, really going to be taxing your body. You're not going to be able to recover very well, and your muscles and tissue is not going to respond well. The difference here is actually in, and I'll explain why, because you might just be like, well, does it really have to be that much, or do you really have to be that specific? You absolutely do. And it's about how women really focus on burning fat versus storing fat. And when the female body exercises, you want to go into a fat burning zone, right? But for women, it's not necessarily as easy sometimes. But then afterwards, when you're in recovery, here's the bigger trick is that you got to get your body to not immediately switch over and go into fat storage. For men, Men do this thing really, really well where they'll get in a fat burning zone during their workout and then after, like the rest of the day. They're just burning fat because they worked out for a little bit in the morning and there they go. Ooh, good for them. Good for them, right? Women don't have it the same, where you're going to be working out, kicking your butt at the gym, but if you don't recover well, if you don't have this down, instead of being fat burning the rest of the day, even if you get to fat burning during your workout, after your workout, I'm making this face because this just sucks. It just does. After your workout, instead of being in that fat burning state still, you switch over into fat storage. And then that's just what happens. So you're thinking, I'm exercising. I'm trying to exercise more then. That's what I need to do. I got to get to the gym more. I'm going to go twice a day. I'm going to work out harder. I'm going to do more cardio. You know what that does? That throws you into a fat storage mode even more when you're done working out. Ugh. Our bodies are really good at this. Our bodies are so good at this. Great, right? So that's the thing. If you're trying to eat less calories and you're just trying to kick your butt at the gym more and more and more and more and more, that's what's happening. Your body's just turning into fat storage more. So it really becomes about the right exercise timing for you. Jeez, right? The right exercise timing for you, and then how to keep your body from going into that fat storage mode by getting the right nutrient timing in and fueling your system better. That's a big key thing there. So a lot of these things are really, really important. And again, like I said, protein pacing is key for you, your body, everything else. If you guys are wondering what numbers to shoot for, if you counted macros and you're like, ooh, what do I do for that? Or ooh, how do I, this, that, or the other? You know what? I'll put a link below where you can schedule a call with me and we can chat about your macros. We can chat about nutrient timing, some of those things. Other key things is stress. Again, when your body's under a lot of stress, it's even tougher on your system. When you've been through menopause, there's a whole different reaction that takes place that just makes it harder. So the more stress you're under, the more uphill battle you have to fight, which means you need to tweak your nutrition even more to fight the stress, to rebuild your stamina, and then to go from there. Those are all those things. All of those things. You also need to have a better digestive system. When your hormones shift and change, your digestive system changes, which means it changes how well you're going to upload and absorb nutrient from the food you're eating. Yay! And then this last piece here, which is really, really important and not something that enough people talk about, but it's how to detox that excess hormone from your system. When you're talking about stress and cortisol and the effect that it has, how it can cause more dysfunction with estrogen, with progesterone, with testosterone, with cortisol, or thyroid hormone, right? It's all from cortisol. Like this big cortisol monster. It's terrible. So how do you get rid of a lot of that excess stuff, right? Eating clean isn't enough. Getting enough protein still isn't enough. Exercising won't do it. Getting your digestive system working and functioning won't do it. You literally have to target and focus on flushing out that excess hormone to reset your system. Otherwise it just can't. It can't unload that. It can't drop that extra stuff. Yes. Your legs work out, can't barely make a shake. Oh no, Sheila. Ooh, overdid it a bit, hey? So this is a process that's key and vital, especially when you've had this shift in hormone. You've gone from having higher hormone, now it's dropped down. Again, it's not gone, but it's just not at the same level that it was, and your body may be storing and holding on to excess hormone in fat cells that you've got to target and flush out of your system. That literally provides you with a completely different result. It literally shifts things and you get a new foundation. You get a new baseline to start with, which is amazing, right? So all of these things are tips and tools to move you in the right direction. So I'm hoping that this kind of makes sense and gives you some good directions, a place to focus. Again, if you guys do have questions, because sometimes from here you're like, okay, what's next, or what's the biggest thing? Or if you're looking at this list and something's triggering for you and you're like, ooh, that's it for me. Maybe it's this. I need more help with this specifically. That's, let me know. That's where, you can message me, but it's easiest to just jump on the phone quick so I can say, hey, yeah, you're probably overdoing it and you need more sugars at this point in your workout to mitigate your cortisol levels so you're not wrecking everything. Or, hey, at the end of your workout, you need to get this in at this time so your body doesn't flip over into fat storage, because that's what it does for women. That's so great. It's so great. So, but again, out of all these things, this is the one thing I find that even if women are doing so many things themselves, they've done a lot of research, this is the one thing that they're missing that makes the biggest difference overall. It really, really does. So that's what I got for you guys tonight. Please let me know of your other questions. Hopefully this was a good follow-up and kind of gives you some action steps to move forward on. But I am super excited about the podcasts that I got released and that are coming out. Let me know your other questions. And then again, just schedule a call if you need more help. Otherwise, I will see you guys later.